Hi, so I bought this Vacmaster wall mount wet and dry vacuum on Amazon. It's model number VWMB508. And I just wanted to go through the unboxing so that you can see exactly what you get if you did purchase this vacuum. Okay, so I'll get it unboxed and I'll show you what comes supplied. Okay, so that's our Vacmaster wall mount vacuum unboxed. So what do you actually get supplied in this kit? So naturally you're going to get the vacuum itself, and as I mentioned, this is wall mount. There is a bracket here to mount it on the wall. But what you're getting, because this is wet and dry, is a 5-gallon tank here. So this will hold 5 gallons of liquid, and you've got a 5-horsepower motor in here. So this should really give a great suction, but we will be testing that out later. In terms of attachments, and what's great, I think you can see here just how many attachments you get, and it's going to make this vacuum extremely versatile. So essentially there's 4 different connections here, end connectors, different types for carpets, for upholstery, for cars, both to be used wet and dry. And this one is particularly useful for detailing your car because you can get down the sides. It's very narrow. You can get down the sides of the seats and get all that muck that's fallen around on the floor. So that's a great attachment there. You also get these extension poles, which is good to see that they've included, because that's going to extend your reach for reaching up onto ceilings and vacuuming in high places. And they just slide together and they lock in nice and tight, and then they just release. And then whatever attachment you want to add on to that, you just simply lock that in like so. So super simple. Okay, so if we have a look now at this this handle here that you can use on your hose attachment, there is a button here, so it is remote control, which is great. So if you consider the reach between the actual vacuum itself and the end of the hose, there's a great reach, and I'll be telling you about that in a moment. You don't want to keep coming back to the machine to turn it on and off, so you can do that from the handle. So while you're vacuuming, you can turn it off and then turn it on again, and that is a really nice feature on this vac. You also have this slider here which adjusts the amount of suction, and this is going to be really useful for me because what I'm planning to do with this vacuum is we have a tree in our front yard, which is lots of little leaves are falling down and it's going into the stone shingles, and I want to be able to hoover those leaves up without sucking up the stone. So what I'll do is I'll adjust this just enough to pick up the leaves but not the stone. With the hoses, so I mentioned about the hoses and the reach. So you've got 2 hoses. You have this hose here which really does extend nicely. This is 11 feet, and this other hose here is 10 feet. So that's giving you 21 feet of hose there. So that's from the vacuum to the end of the cleaner. And then you can add on your extensions here as well. The cord, that's 20-foot cord. So that's going to give you a total reach of 41 feet. So 41 feet from the socket in the wall out to the end of where you're actually vacuuming. And that's really nice because you can just unhook this off of the wall, take it out to the car, do what you need to do, or wherever you need to hoover or vacuum, take it back to the point and hang it back on the wall. So that's what this is all about. So I did mention that it's a wall mount, so you will have this up on the wall, and then you will attach all of these pieces onto here. And again, I will be doing another video showing you how to assemble all of this, but essentially they all lock into each other. So this, for example, locks in, and then that will allow you to put your hose. This will sit on top of here like that, and then everything just neatly clips in. You also have this hook here to allow all your attachments just to simply slide on like so and keep everything nice and tidy. You get your user guide here. There's not a huge amount of setup to do in terms of assembling this vacuum, but the guide is there. There's pictures in there and it makes it really easy to do. As I mentioned, it's wet and dry, so you do inside here have a filter. So if I open that, you can see there you have this filter. This should only be used when dry, and you can just turn this, take this cap off. The filter comes off, and then you would put this wet filter over the top if you're going to be using this wet. So don't use this don't use this dry filter if you're going to be using this wet. So take that off, put this one on, Filters, replacement filters for both the wet and the dry are available also on Amazon if you want to purchase some extra filters. So in terms of attaching the hose to the actual vacuum, it's super simple. So your port is here. So we just take this short one and it just simply locks into place like so. So you line it up and then just give it a little twist and then you're in and you're good to go. This is also capable, this vacuum, of blowing as well. So there is a little corner here where you press this button and just release this flap here, and you have another port here which you can plug into, and then that will actually turn this into a blower. So like I was saying with my leaves in the front yard, that might be handy. If I don't want to vacuum them up, I can use it as a blower around there. So really versatile, this vacuum. So it's both suck and also blow as well. Okay, so that's pretty much it in terms of what you get supplied with this Vacmaster wall mount wet and dry vacuum.